Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Wordle with Art. It's great to see you guys. I thought we'd switch things up. I thought, hey, why don't we start with the results first, and then we'll do the Wordle solve with Art. And for those of you who are not as interested in the results, just swing forward to the Wordle with Art. That's all you need to do. But a lot of you guys I know have been waiting to see where we are. And I put a lot of time into upgrading the spreadsheet because we're collecting more and more data and it's getting a little bit, tricky. But thanks to a few of you guys and especially to Robdle, I made some pretty cool updates. So let's go over it. As you can see, I actually now have all the words. If we just shift over here, I have all the words set up to the very end of January. Obviously, they've been X'd out because we don't know what they are yet. But as you can see, we do have it all the way up to Matey. I've updated the so-called color map or the heat map. And it should be pretty straightforward. But, I doubt that anybody's going to get a 1. So we have 2 as the lowest score in sort of bright green. Then 3s are in the dark green. 4s are yellow. 5s are orange. 6s are the bright reds. And then 7s are just black. Okay. So that's our new color map. I think it looks pretty cool. Shows a little bit more contrast than we had before. And and so now let's go ahead and discuss the results and give some applause to especially to our top 10 contestants. All right. Well, a pretty interesting result has developed, and that is that Nora Rishi is no longer the sole proprietor of first place. Tornado the Twixter, with his strong vortex of winds, has landed right in the same top place as Nora Rishi. So congratulations, Tornado. And obviously, it's just due to your incredible consistency with the 3s. And as you can see here, Nora has, struggled a little bit with Alter, Blurb, and Matey. Although those Blurbs and Mateys are perfectly respectable scores. So keep it up, guys. You never know. We may have a double first place trophy for both of you guys. All right. Next up is D-Bone Capone has now catapulted himself to second place. So congratulations, D-Bone. By the way, I forgot to mention, guys, one other little adjustment, just to kind of save some real estate space here. I have, obviously, you probably already noticed it, but it's going to be your name. The first number here, let me just move myself up. Okay, so the first number here is your total score for the first 22 days. And the second number is your average number of guesses per day for each of the 22 days. So Nora Rishi's at 68 total guesses with a 3.24 average. Tornado, obviously exactly the same. Just wanted to mention that. Okay, so we already talked about first and second place. And now I think this is a new trend. And that is our good friend Martin Steed and Abigail have taken custody of third place. So congratulations, Martin and Abigail. You guys have a total score of 70 with an amazing 3.33 average. Great job. Next up, John Matthews, you are now in fourth place, so I'm afraid you've dropped a place, my friend. Also, I have, guys, you're kind of causing me because of certain, ways that you are either putting in your results or not putting in your results or forgetting your results or getting spoiled. I have to come up with all these weird color codes. So, John, I have 2 4s for you, my friend, and they're in green. They do correspond to what you said that you got, but you have to provide your path, okay? So, for example, if we slide down here, Braden Slay's 43 had fallen way back, okay? Here he is. But he gave me every single result that he had forgotten to include, including his path, all right? So, basically, here's the deal, John. One more result where you just said, I got the word in X guesses without telling me your actual path, I'm going to have to throw you out, okay? So just want to kind of, put that up front and so that there's no misunderstanding. And please, guys, do not think this just applies to John. It applies to everybody. You have to provide your path. You can't just say, I got it in 1 guess or 2 guess or 3 guess or 4 guess or even 6 guesses. We need to see the path. Okay. Anyways, John, great job. Keep up the good work. And again, you're currently in 4th place. So you have to get me those 2 results. Next, New York Times Wordle bot is directly behind John and with a 73, and alongside with our good friend Koala Gill Earl. Great job, guys. Now we have our 6th place ribbon group, which includes Dr. Dan 3, Bobo 0616. Oh, and by the way, thanks to my very, very just kind of like savvy friend, Georges Thibodeau, I now know that that is actually Oranje 0428. And hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. But I learned from my good buddy Georges that that is Dutch for orange. Pretty cool. Very cool. So there you have it. And good workout on you with your 3 on Meaty. And SmartyBot is now ascending in the rankings as well. And is actually, can we guys just give a round of applause for Edward Collins and his bot? I mean, he's only 1 place behind New York Times Wordle bot. That's incredible. 1 place behind and 2 guesses behind. Interestingly, there's no 74 here, is there? Nobody has a total of 74 for some reason. So great job, Edward. It's obviously a great program, and you're doing an amazing job. All right. Next up comes the 7th place, and I'm so thankful for 2 reasons. First of all, I'm still in contention for the top 10, thanks to especially Meaty yesterday. And I'm with George Clark and his beautiful cat Anya. We're in the same group. You have no idea how happy that makes me feel. I mean, look at her. She's the most precious thing ever, or what? As long as I'm in company with one of these cats, whether it be Abigail or Anya, I'm going to be a very happy guy. All right. Next up, we've got Mighty Caucasian, Dora A, and Mata Muertes, all with 77s, and they are in 8th place. Great job, guys. And now we have a pretty decent chunk of 9th place, folks. That includes Salad Von Baco, Melvin TNH 327, Scoredle, and Robdle. So there you have it, Robdle. I think you should be pretty happy. You are now in the same group as Scoredle. I think previously you had been 1 below. So you are tied with your cyber nemesis. And unfortunately, I know Meaty hurt you a little bit, but hey, it'll be interesting to see what happens tonight, right? Next group is going to include our final 10th place, folks, and that's Matt and Misthetic. Great job, guys, with 79s. Okay, and now from this point forward, it's everybody who still deserves a huge round of applause. They're still in the thick of it. And all the way from here, Michelle Lamb to Dan and Seb are still folks that are below 4.0. So they definitely are in contention for the top 10. We've got Michelle Lamb and Damiano. Sorry, I'm just a little bit above. There we go. We've got Michelle Lamb and Damiano 54, both with 80s. And then we've got Wendy Jarvis, Canamus, and Jessica Clare with 81s. Moving down, we've got Ellen Tassani and Paul Allen with 82s. And now all the way I have to scroll, right, guys, to finally get to a very respectable 4.0. And that is shared by both Dan and Seb and Burnt. Next, we've got Cynthia May with an 85, Joe with an 86, as well as Georges Thibodeau and Connor Clark and Johnsky with 86s. So, yeah, we've got a pretty good chunk of 86s there. Next up, we've got Odie Dog with an 87, PJ Stitcher with an 87, Alt Foucher with an 87. Great job, guys. Braden Slays 43. Thanks so much for giving me all your results. And you're doing great with a total of 88, 4.19. And Lakia Trippert is doing great with a total of 89. And Kyle B18 also with an 89. And again, guys, Kyle has told me about those 4s. He's away, and I know he'll get those to us. Let's see. Where are we now? We're at Lap Nodon. Lap Nodon, by the way, has really had a resurgence here. 4 3s, 2 4s. Great job, Lap Nodon. You're doing amazing. Definitely for the last 10 days, goal has to be to just, get below 4.0. I think that's completely reasonable. You seem to be improving day by day on this game. Ascension has a 90. So does First Name. So great job, guys. Mindcrafts with a 91. And then a fairly sizable gap between Minecrafts and Burger 4727, 4 points there. Burger, you're doing just fine. I do read your comments. I know that you do sometimes, wish you could do a little bit better. I think you're doing great. You're doing just fine, my friend. Don't worry about those sixes. That can happen. Um, just just keep at it, and before you know it, I think some luck will be on your side. Robert House is at a 98. Alistair Gorman is exactly 1 point behind with a 99. Alistair, I'm happy to announce that it is just you and Terpsichorean Queen who share the 99 group. Okay. And we have Shazana Mir at 101 and our good buddy Jacob. Again, Jacob, I really love your attitude. When you say, hey, I got it in 4 or I got it in 6 and I didn't fail, that's a great spirit. And, we're rooting for you. I still think that if you focus like a laser and try to just get some mixes of 4s and not too many 5s, I actually think that, you could try to break that 5.0 as your goal for January. All right, guys. And there you have it. So that's the updated spreadsheet. Pretty cool. And for all those who are in top 10 like me, all I can say is I'm just going to try my best to stay there. So please join me now for my Wordle. I am going to have to do a quick transition because I need to change the clock. And I have found that when I update the clock after I put in the Adobe spreadsheet that we're looking at here, it gets very finicky and it doesn't like it. For whatever reason, Adobe only likes to work in the current time. So I am now going to adjust my clock and see you in just a few seconds. And let's see how Art does on today's Wordle. Hey, everyone. All right, we're back. And now it's time for Art to do the Wordle so that you can see how your position is going to either increase or decrease relative to me. Start with Slate, L and an E. Not bad, L and an E. All right, this requires a little bit of thought. For some reason, this one doesn't jump out at me. For some crazy reason, I think it might have been clove. For some crazy reason, I think it might have been clove. All right. The funny thing is, nobody says that I have to stick in hard mode. I'm kind of tempted to just get some 5 fresh letters and see how they react with the LE. Because I doubt that I would get this in 2. And I'm also just sort of struggling to remember what's the optimum word when you have the LE lit up like that. I do think it might be clove. That's what they go with. But I think I would be better off in this particular case to just go with 5 fresh letters. So what I'd like to get in there, yeah, definitely. Let's do C, R, O, maybe get some vowels in there. Well, let's see. Actually, this thing could begin with C. It could also begin with P. Let's play it like that. Yeah, no, I think I like my approach better. This is like the first time I think I've ever deviated from what Slate gives me, guys. So we want the C. I think the R. Actually, yeah, no. Hang on here. I don't think the R makes too much sense. It certainly wouldn't go before or after the L. Nah. Let's get rid of the R. That's a wasted letter. Definitely keep the C. We need the right vowel in there. The funny thing is, maybe the way we approach this is I think we're sort of limited. In other words, I don't think there's too many words that we really are operating with here. We could have clove. I do think that's reasonable. And I feel like that probably is the second word. We'll check with Scoredle. When I do my prediction, I'll probably go with that. All right, so we got clove. What else with the CLO? Clone. Yeah, we got clove and clone. And I think that's it. Now let's go CLI. I I don't see anything there, so that's good. CLU, no. All right, so with my C, I'm down to either clove or clone. I'm almost certain we haven't had clove, clone. I don't think we've had either, so that'll be a 50-50. Now, oh, shoot. Okay, so there's a BLs we have to think about. Oh, now I think it's funny. You guys are very helpful. In the comments, I could have sworn I heard somebody say that bloke has already come up, so we're not going to put that in. So we'll go BL, and let's just go sort of in the alphabetical order with the vowels as well. I don't see anything like that with a BLI. Let's go to BLO. We already got rid of bloke. No, I don't like that. Let's go BLU. Oh, I think we're lucky. We don't have to worry about the B's. Nothing really seems to fit there. All right. We already tried the C's. I think it's just down to clove and clone. FL. Okay. So here we go. FLI. I don't see anything like that working. FLO. No. FLU. Fluke. Okay. Fluke. That's a good one. So now we have clove, clone, fluke. Not bad. And then GL, and then I think lastly we'll have to do PL. So here we go. We've got glide. Glide works. I don't see anything else with the I. We're gonna go. Globe. Globe. Interesting. Globe though. I sort of feel like maybe we've had that one. I'm not sure. Nothing else there, and then finally glue. I don't really see anything there. So globe is a possibility, but what am I looking at now? So we've got clove, we've got clone, we've got we got rid of the B's. So we said was it F? Yeah, we've got fluke. And we possibly have globe, but I'm not 100% sure. And now we have to finish off with the P's. You know, it's going to be embarrassing if after all this work it ends up being a letter other than like C, B, F, or P. All right, PLI. Real quick, I don't really see anything. PLO. Not really. And PLU would be maybe like plume. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I think if we do clone first, did anything else have an N in it? No, it really didn't. But okay, so now we need to ask ourselves, did anything else have the O in it? Globe. So that would help me get globe. Oh, this is really tricky. And then we said maybe like plume. So clone could be the answer. Clove could be the answer. All right, let's start with clone. I'm not going to overthink this. All right, so it's not clone. Oh, goodness. So I'm going to maybe go with fluke. It's not fluke. Ooh, so this is one that I completely overlooked. Or actually plume. Maybe plume. Oh, this is too bad. I definitely I think I'll still stay in the top 10 because I think I was 7th, but this is not a good one, obviously. Oh, it could be. Oh, rather than plume, even though I think that's reasonable, I think she has gone into sneak mode with us today. There's absolutely nothing forbidding that E from being in front. Elude. Yeah. Oh, darn. That was hard. I think that's going to be slightly tricky for folks, though. I really do. You've got the E on the front and the end. You've got the unusual U in the middle. The L and the D are fairly common letters, so if you position them fairly quickly, it won't be bad at all. Mine just sort of gave me quite a few options, and I didn't even think of elude. I knew that was going to happen after all that work with clone, clove, fluke, plume, globe. It just ended up being E, which I didn't even consider. All right. I'm not terribly disappointed with that. And yeah, by hook or by crook, it looks like, oh, that's funny. I did end up staying in hard mode. All right. Let's go to Scoredle. Let's see what I'm going to predict here. So slate, I actually think it does clove next. So slate, clove. Then, you know what? I think it might go fluke, elude. So slate, just rather than clone, I'm going to tweak that to clove, fluke, elude. I think that's where it's going to go. Okay, so I'm predicting 4, exactly what I have here, except swap the N and clone with a V. This is not a physical guarantee, but I'm fairly confident. All right, answer was elude. I hope that doesn't elude too many of you guys. And we start with slate. Yeah, it did want clove. Oh, plume next, so I was wrong. But definitely tied with Scoredle with the correct sequence. Yeah, it wanted plume rather than what I did, which was, yeah, fluke. All right, guys, well, there you have it. What can I say? I mean, you know, I still think I'm definitely in contention. But you guys, again, I keep saying this, are just too clever. I think there will be a decent number of 3s and 4s. And again, that one would be, to me, tricky to get into. I mean, yeah, it would be very tricky to get into. I mean, of course, you could get lucky. You know, if you start with slate, you just might say, oh, maybe elude if you saw that. But yeah, I'm not terribly disappointed with that one. And of course, guys, I will look forward to seeing you tomorrow with yet another edition of Wordle with Art.